Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, today we are looking at swapping, or well, taking off a radiator and capping it off safely. This may be due to decorating purposes, or you want to move one temporarily, or whatever the reason is. Mine happens to be because this one has pinholed, okay? What that basically means is it's popped. Okay, so luckily we got to the job quite quickly. I've already isolated the radiator on each valve, which I'll show you how to do that now. Quite simple. And good practice to always put down dust sheets. However, it's nearly Christmas and I've ran out, so I've had to use my towels out of my van. Brilliant. So let's have a look how we do this. First of all, we'll look at this side of the radiator. This happens to be the lock shield, okay? On this side of the radiator valve, as you can see, I've already isolated it. Obviously, because we've got a leak, you see. So I can't show you, otherwise it'll put pressure back into the radiator. But all as we do is get a spanner like so, adjust it to fit the slot, and turn in a clockwise direction until it stops. Do not over tighten, because you could snap this off. Okay, just pinch it up nicely, and that's the lock shield isolated. Right, so next we've got the TRV side, or the thermostatic radiator valve. Same sort of principle, however you don't need to use a spanner. We just turn it clockwise until we're on the zero, frost protection or off, whatever it may state. These valves come in many different variations, okay, but it's all the same principle. Right, so now it's time to go ahead and start removing the radiator. You will see that I've got a tub down here that collects the water. It is good practice to get one of those under the valve that you are undoing, because you will have water residue within the base of the radiator. So once you start undoing the union or the nut, you may get the odd trickle of water. Right then, so what we're going to do now is move our tub under the valve like so, just so it can collect any water that may trickle out. Next, we're going to get some grips, put them on the right setting and attach them to the valve like so. Next, we're going to get our spanner and adjust it to the union size, and we're going to hold the grips and twist the nut upwards, in the upwards direction. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, as so. And we're going to slowly undo this, like so. Getting a few little trickles of water. There we go. There's your bit of recessed water, as you can see. So not a great deal. Nice little bit in there for us. So while I drain this, I'll pause the video, then we'll jump to it when it's finished. I thought I'd just stop the video where we are, just so we can take a look at this water. Absolutely filthy, disgusting black water, or sludge build-up, whatever you want to call it. This is basically caused by fine particles of insoluble compounds, which they're suspended in the water. It's usually caused by oxidization from the inside of the system, by either air, dissolved oxygen in the water, a reaction between the two dissimilar metals in the radiators. It can be caused by a leak, faulty installation, or in the header tank, say. So if your water does look like this, I mean, it's not the end of the world, it can be sorted, but it needs to be addressed sooner rather than later, because it can cause permanent damage to your system, okay? You can either do this by power flushing. Chemicals can get rid of this depending on the cause. However, the cause does need to be addressed, okay guys? So the next one, that took a little longer than expected. So again, same principle, okay guys? Not difficult. We're going to get the grips on the valve like so. Always make sure your tub's under there. it is always good practice to pop one under the other end as well, just in case. Leave that other nut loose, okay? Next we're going to adjust the spanner to suit the nut. Whilst gripping, I'm going to apply pressure to the grips. We're going to push downwards like so. This one's rather tight. Always make sure you get them the right way. Just remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. There we go. They're nice and loose. There we go, got a little bit of a drip from that one. So we'll wait till this one's finished. Undo it a little bit more each time. Right, so now that one's finished, we can go ahead and start removing it from the wall. Also, if your system is extremely sludgy, just be careful when undoing the next nut, because the radiator can hold the sludge, and depending on how bad your system is, obviously can hold pressure as well. So go ahead and be careful once undoing that. Another quick tip before we move on: once you've cracked your nuts on the radiator valves, it is a good idea to get your rad valve key and crack the air vent. Okay, this will then push air into the radiator and a lot more quickly out of the valves for you. Right, next we're going to go ahead and remove the radiator. It is always good practice to do this with two people. However, I don't have that luxury, I'm afraid, so I'm going to do it all on my own. So you're going to go to one side. You're going to prepare your bowl at the other side, okay? Just in case we do get any more water come out of the radiator. So what we're going to do is put our thumb over the valve of this side, lift from the middle in a tilted action to bring it up, okay? And we're going to keep it up. So obviously we've got a thumb over this side so we don't get any leaks coming out this way, and we've got no water coming out that way because it's in an upright position. Okay? Let's go ahead and do it. Sometimes it can be a bit awkward, okay? So just bear with it. And now we're going to go and dispose of this radiator safely. So next we're going to cap this pipe off safely. A lot of people don't do this, and it's extremely bad practice not to, especially on the TRV side, because you can just turn this valve and on comes the central heating flying out. Okay, you need to cap it off. Don't skip corners. It's always good practice again to use paste. Again, a lot of people don't use this and then they wonder why they get leaks. It was invented for a reason. Put a little bit too much on there, but not to worry. It's not going to do any permanent damage. You've got to take it back off later anyway. So we're going to do this by attaching a nut, well, a stop end. We're going to paste this like so. Again, a lot of people don't paste these. Just paste it, it's not hard. Attach it to a piece of an offcut of 15mm copper, like so. And then get it on this side, do it up. And we're going to tighten this now with our spanner and grips. So once we've tightened those on, we're going to put our second nut and olive on, push it into the valve and tighten it up like so. Okay, making sure it's in. Again, same principle. Grips on there around the valve and tighten like so. You don't need to go crazy, you know, it's already isolated. This is just for precaution. Okay, moving on to the next valve. Now we've got a problem. this side isn't 15mm, it's 3/4. It's a union valve, okay, which we picked up on earlier. Well, I did. I was prepared for this. So what we've gone out and got, we've got a cap here, which will just sit onto the valve like so. Just like that. If this was 15mm as well, we'd just do the same as we did on the other valve, okay? But there we go, that's nice and safe. I'm just going to nip that up now and we're ready to go. As you can see, the customer is ready to decorate the property, or in this case replace the radiator. So there we go, that's what it looks like. Temporarily isolated in a safe way. So I hope that helped some of you. Please subscribe for more and I'll see you shortly.